Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kimberly Dornseef. I am currently attending Utah Valley University, and my major is Public Relations and Strategic Communication. And today we will be discussing the death penalty and should it be discontinued. So first we'll kind of dive in. I have the Oxford Dictionary definition of what capital punishment is. So basically it's the legally authorized killing of someone as punishment for a crime. So these people are put to death due to crimes that fall on the federal capital offense list. So these crimes have to be pretty serious for these people to be put to death instead of to be put in prison for life. So that's where we'll start. But how does it affect us as a society, and how does it make the world better? It makes the world better by these people. We know that they will never be out back with society to in the future commit these terrible crimes. These people are monsters, and they should pay for what they do and what hurt that they cause to these families going through these losses due to the crimes that are committed by these people. It also affects you guys because you guys want to feel safe in a society. So knowing that these people who are committing such heinous crimes are being put to death, we are reassured that they will never be back in society to continue making these crimes. So it makes us and improves the world by making it a safer place, and we feel more safe. So like I already explained, these crimes have to fall on the federal capital offense list. So rape, murder, homicide. I mean, I can keep going, but it's like pretty serious crimes for these people, almost like an eye for an eye. At that point is that these people are put to death due to committing such horrendous crimes. Like I said, these people are monsters, and it's inhumane. So where we'll start with this and everything, I have an article from Most Americans Favor the Death Penalty Despite Concerns About Its Administration from 2021. It states, death penalty supporters, about 90%, say it's justified under certain circumstances. So kind of the certain circumstances, how it's backed up, the 90%, under certain circumstances, I feel like the certain circumstances falls under the federal capital offense list. So those are the circumstances, so if you commit such heinous crimes, what is the reasoning for you to not be put to death for, causing that harm onto another person, multiple people, and causing loss to family members, friends, all of that. So that's why it's more justified, and 90% say under certain circumstances. And those are the circumstances, is that it has to be a major crime for these people to be put to death in the first place. So a lot of people argue that the death penalty is cruel. So the thing is, the people committing these crimes are already very inhumane and cruel themselves. Like I already stated, these people are monsters. So kind of where I'll start is the death penalty is not always cruel. So I'm going to talk about the firing squad and the electric chair, because some people normally find these to be cruel punishments to these people who are murderers, rapists, and so on. So a quote from an article by Manzano in 2018 states, firing squad involves 5 men shooting at the heart of the condemned with high-powered rifles. The heart is then completely destroyed and unconsciousness follows within seconds. So these people who have, probably tortured other people and who are on this offense list now to be put to death, they are not suffering. They are, like it says, they line up and they all take shots at them, and unconsciousness follows within seconds. When these people could have, put torture onto another human being who is innocent for multiple days, we don't even know. Like, a lot of crazy stuff happens in the world, so it's justified that this is an eye for an eye, and this is how it should be. I'll go on to, so the firing squad, that's an option of, the death penalty. Another one is electric chair. A lot of people find this one to be, the most cruel. But from an article stated by Manzano in 2018, he states that the scalp is shaven, a wet shaven scalp. The metal is flushed against your head. So this sends the electricity straight to your brain, shutting off the brain more fast than the brain can register pain. So these people who are put to the electric chair, their brain is shutting off before their brain can even register that it's in pain. So these people are put to death for our safety, to make sure that they are not coming back into society to continue these terrible crimes. So it's not cruel. It's not cruel. What they are causing onto other people is. And so it's just a reassurance for us that, those people are now gone and they cannot come back to society to continue the terrible things that they have already previously done. Another thing to back up, why it shouldn't be discontinued is people escaping from prison. It's happened. People have been sent over for life sentences and have escaped. From an article by Myvin in 2015, he states that there are instances where these criminals have been sentenced to life imprisonment, escape from prison, and end up in society where they continue to commit their violent and heinous crimes. So the death penalty stops that from happening. These people cannot come back to society if they are put to death for such terrible and monstrous crimes that they commit to innocent people. There's no escapes. So that helps us feel reassurance that these bad people are not going to be roaming our society to continue doing these terrible things to people and causing suffering to innocent people. Another thing that helps, defend why it should not be discontinued is it can cut crime rates. This can cut crime rates due to the fact that us as humans, we can say it if we're not or if we are, but we have a fear of the unknown, and death is unknown. So we already have a set fear on unknown of death. So an article from Myvin in 2015 stated, one of the most common justifications for the death penalty in the Western world is that it acts as a deterrent of capital crimes, as the federal of death and horror of the execution can prevent someone from committing serious crimes. I apologize. Them knowing and them seeing that this is, in process, we are doing, if this falls on the federal offense list, you will be put to death. And those people who, they're out there just wanting to commit crimes, they're bad people, but they know that there's no severe consequences, they're just going to do it freely. But if we have a set thing that you will be put to death if you commit this certain crime, there's more fear put into these criminals' minds. They're normal people just like us. They're monsters, but they still have the same thought process for the most part. I would not say that for all, because you already know. So coming back on, kind of to counter my argument, people say that it's inhumane. From an article from Flander in 2013, he stated, people argue that capital punishment is inhumane. So this is true. The death of someone else is inhumane in general. But how I would like for, us to see it is that these crimes are inhumane in general. These people are inhumane. You just have to put yourself and kind of broaden your horizon to see that if it was one of your family members that a crime or something terrible happened to, you would want that person to be put to death and know that they're not going to be coming back for any more of your family members, and to rest assured that, it's like closure for you. So this kind of helps. You just got to open your mind and know that there's a reason why we're putting these people to death, and it's because they're committing monstrous crimes that fall on this list. So it has to be super serious for it to be that. So like that 90% I talked about earlier, under certain circumstances, this is the list on the federal offense list. Those are all perfect circumstances of why someone should be put to death. So you just have to broaden your horizon and kind of really truly think about why we're doing it to better our society and cut crime rates, and hope that it stops people from escaping prison. There's a lot of security nowadays, but it helps rest assured us as a society that these people who are very extremely bad people are put to death, and there's no way of them to come back and to continue to commit these terrible crimes. So like I stated before, the death penalty should not be discontinued for all of the following reasons. And so the only thing I can state is, like I said, broaden your horizon and really think about that as a whole. Thank you.